G'day, I'm Morgazed. It's not a news by now that I'm a big fan of hot swappable keyboards. Why do you ask? Well, in simple terms, basically what they allow you to do is you can swap out your keyboards, both switches and keycaps, which is basically both aesthetic and functionality without having to buy a full new keyboard. Plus, it's a fun hobby. Now, I was roaming around Amazon and I found a keyboard, which, let me tell you, I'm not going to give you the spoilers just yet, but let me tell you, price point is really good. And what you get for that price is phenomenal. Let me show you the features, then we're going to talk about it. Let's do this. Let me show you a few features. First things first, this keyboard is heavy. Why? Because it's aluminium. The back is not plastic but aluminium. Why is this important? Because aluminium is more premium than plastic, aka it will last you for a longer time. Plus, look at it. It's beautiful. It's actually a work of art. But other than that, so I spoke about the construction, and it's a really solid keyboard. Now, at the front, as you can see, let me see if it, at the front, we have the USB-C port, on and off switch, and then on the other side, you got the USB dongle if you do want to use it wirelessly. My recommendation is, unless you're a pro gamer, which probably you wouldn't pick up this keyboard anyway, just use the Bluetooth, because wireless is great, low latency, but at the same time, you use a lot of battery, like seriously a lot of battery. So if you can avoid it and use Bluetooth, use Bluetooth. Now, speaking of Bluetooth, you can pair this keyboard with 3 devices. It can be 3 PCs or 2 PCs and a Mac, or 1 PC, 1 Mac, 1 iPad if you want to, as long as the device has Bluetooth. Yes, even an iPhone or a smartphone. How do you trigger Bluetooth? You got the FN button here. You gotta hold down FN, and then you have Q, W, E. There are the 3 devices. Just remember which device you connect it with, because when you swap device, you just have to do again FNQ, but you don't have to hold it on. You just have to hold down FN and then the letter. But when you pair it, you gotta hold down both keys. If I didn't mention it yet, this is a 75% keyboard, but it's got a couple more keys than 75. But what takes it apart is you got the F keys at the top. This is why it is 70 plus keys. Otherwise, you got 65 that is small. Actually, 2 small. Just for a comparison, this doesn't have the F keys at the top and it's slightly smaller. My previous keyboard, by the way, if you haven't watched the video about this keyboard, make sure you do, because this is a very, very good keyboard. Plastic, but it's very good. You have your dial on the top right. You can use it for volume, or you can also press it in, and you can make macros. We'll talk about the software in a second. I do want to mention as well that you don't have feet at the back. You got only those rubber grommets, so you cannot adjust the height of the keyboard. But to be completely honest with you, it's not bad to type on. Like, it may be a little low on the top, but it's still manageable. Have you noticed it's nearly silent, which is a good thing. It sounds good, but it's not that loud. Loud keyboard are the worst in my opinion, but hey, if you like them, this keyboard will not be for you. With that said, I'm gonna do a video follow up in a few weeks where I will swap these switches for the Durox silent. So we're gonna make it completely silent. So stay tuned for that. One of the big upsides of this keyboard is that it uses the VIA software, which is a free open source software that lets you customize your keyboard so you don't have to rely on those unreliable third-party apps that they may get updated or maybe not, so you can miss out. Let me show you what it looks like. So this is how the software looks like. Before we get to here, let me show you something. So when you first connect it, you will have to go into key tester, connect the keyboard, and then you gotta go into show design. You gotta tick this on, and then with the design, you will have to upload the JSON file of the keyboard. My recommendation, just go into Google, and if your keyboard is compatible with VIA software, just type the name of the keyboard and then type JSON file for VIA software, and it will give you the JSON that you can then upload, and then you'll be able to use it as I'm showing it to you now. Now you got the basic ones. It shows you all of the keyboard mapping. Then you got media buttons, which you can see. I just changed, so I had the key selected, I clicked on the jets, and now if I click on it, it's gonna do eject, which we don't want obviously. So we're gonna change it back. Now we turn it back to W. Then you can add media buttons as I was showing you. You can add macros as well, just by clicking on the keyboard key that you wanted to map it, and then you can map it like that. Then you have obviously layers, special characters, got lighting as well. So those are just to configure the buttons for RGB lighting. We don't want to do that just yet because we can control the RGB, and obviously you have customs as well. We can control the lights via software under lighting. I have it turned off, but you can turn it on, maximum brightness. You have some effects that you can use. I guess they're all updated. You can control the effect speed. And then last but not least, you can choose the color. How easy is that? Obviously, you can have multiple layers. As you can see, keyboard has 2 layers, but you can add the third one and the fourth one if you want to. But bottom line is you need to remember those keys, otherwise it's no point setting them up. That's why I wouldn't recommend more than layer 0 and 1, because you will forget what it's there. Couple of things I want to mention before I close the video. One is the cable. While this is not braided, but at least it's got the strap that is integrated into it, as you can see. So it sort of makes up for the lack of braidness. At least you can keep it in one place. And then, do you know what this is? This is a kick-up puller on this side. And then this is a switch puller. It's great that they include in the box. $5, but at least for people who don't have, who has never done it before or don't know, at least they have the tool they can start try for themselves. And the last thing that I want to mention is the manual. Now, it seems like a very, very finicky things nowadays, because in 2025, with internet, you have access to everything. But what I wish more brands would do, like Apple Maker with the Tilde, aside from having a million languages, but let me see if I can find the English version. There's bloody too many languages, Chinese. There's even Italian, German, English. One thing that I appreciate is to see as well that they show you how to remove a keycap and the switch. So someone who has never hot swap a keyboard before, at least he has some kind of guidance, which I wish more manufacturer would do, because the whole point of a keyboard like this, of a hot swappable keyboard, is the fact that you can customize it. You can pick your switches, the switches that feels better for you, both in sound and in feeling, and also the keycap that you likes the most. So why not just include it? It doesn't cost much to print out a couple of more pages of a manual, but at least you have it in the box. You may not need it, but if you need it, it's there. What do you think about this? Let me know in the comments down below. If you do want to pick up this keyboard, I will have an affiliate link down below. If you like this video, I'm sure you will like one of the videos on the side here. I'll see you there, Guru mates.